joining us at Ewing. My name is Ria Greif, and I'm here with you today as I am every week. When we talk about building, we use tools, and the same goes for building our brand. These wellness tools will help elevate your emotional intelligence and help to lead you in a more positive, successful direction in life and in business. Some of these tools you will use to overcome opposition today, and some you will tuck away into a shiffer robe for another day. This week's tool is challenge, and how to understand provocation in order to confront it for your personal triumph with co-workers and co-lifers is what we will explore once I've demonstrated to you that this is a great tool for your brand. Human beings are in continual evolution. Every generation wants to achieve more than the preceding one. We are in a culture of competition. The strong, the beautiful, the intelligent, and the capable are magnified and extolled. Our world is characterized by the huge gap between the rich and the poor, the oppressors and the oppressed, and by the continual horrible conflicts between national, ethnic, and religious groups. This struggle is in each and every one of us. But, according to the book, Becoming Human by Jean Vanier, challenges of crisis are moments of danger, but also opportunities for dialogue and unity, and that solutions will emerge. An example is that we learn how to resolve the conflicts that arise when one person seeks to dominate another. Moreover, throughout history, these challenges have caused women and men to rise up, seeking ways to overcome obstacles and finding new wisdom. Little by little, a culture of competition will be challenged, and it will be transformed into a culture of welcome and mutual respect. Clearly setting the stage that challenge is not to be thought of as something to avoid, but to welcome. Everybody wants to live a better life, but nobody wants to step up and make it happen for themselves, making excuses as to why they aren't living a good life, erstwhile wishing they knew how to do so. The best book of 30-day challenges by Susan Johnson tells us that when making a list of items that would constitute a recipe for the good life, that you need to include things like pain and heartache on the list, because these challenges are what is needed to develop understanding, compassion, and generosity. In other words, to build character. And we also need to be the ones that engineer some of these challenges. Being receptive to life, appreciating the things that are actually important, responding rather than reacting, avoiding negative self-talk, and changing your attitude to a positive one. And you can find all the scholarly books and peer-reviewed articles mentioned in our program right here at NPR member station 90.5 FM at wcb.org, or visit us at truerogues.com. For our podcast, behind-the-scene videos, and connect with us on our socials, or just drop us a line about a guest or a question about emotional intelligence for me, your host on Ewing, Ria Greif. Challenges and problems are important parts of life that give you experiences, make you learn, and help you become wiser and stronger. Problems make us grow and shape us. The biggest problem people have is that they hope for a life without problems. This is an impossible goal and would lead to a boring life without character. We will all have problems, small or large. The difference is how we deal with the problems and the challenges that occur. And you don't have to wait for crisis or to become an adult. Set the tone for making challenges fun and something to begin welcoming at a young age. The book series, Challenge Your Kids, 100 Field-Tested Problems, Brain Teasers, and Riddles by Dave and Stephanie Vaccaro is a collection of 100 thoughtful problems, brain teasers, and riddles that stir kids' curiosity. And these thoughtful and engaging problems and brain teasers and riddles have the purpose to get kids to use their imagination, to think through, and to solve problems together in an enjoyable way and welcome that challenge into their lives. Not to mention, you participating would solidify this because you are also leading by example. Accept the challenges so you can feel the exhilaration of victory. And that is a quote by George S. Patton, General of the United States Army, who led the troops to victory with his hard-driving personality and success as a commander. An award-winning biographical film was released in 1970 about Patton's speeches to his soldiers and how to face the challenges of personal fear with aggressive offensive actions, which helped solidify his image as an American folk hero. Today's guest serves as the Executive Director with the Chron and Colitis Foundation with the responsibility for the organization's overall operation, sustainability, fundraising, and growth strategies. Prior to that, our guest began this nonprofit career with the United Way of Central Ohio, serving as Senior Relationship Manager for 4 years, and also has tenure working at the American Heart Association, Make-A-Wish Foundation, facing the challenge of serving challenged populations at every step of her career. Sera Koudalabrah is passionate and committed to making an impact in her local community and beyond. She is an Emeritus Board Member of Fashion Week Columbus, member of United Way's Women's Leadership Council, and has been a volunteer finance teacher with Junior Achievement since 2014. She also advises entrepreneurs in the Startup Week community. Ms. Koudalabrah speaks 4 languages, and as international business consultant for Big Media Group, she successfully completed projects in Belgium, Kuwait, Dubai, Egypt, Botswana, Ghana, encountering the types of challenges that most of us will never have to face, including being an outspoken board member of Legacies of War, a nonprofit organization focused on the removal of unexploded ordnances in Laos and Southeast Asia. And when she isn't speaking, fundraising, advocating, and meeting challenges, you can find Ms. Koudalabrah helping her nieces sell cookies and obsessively watching cat videos. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Leah.
Okay, so now you and I have 2 things in common. So before we discuss like how we're both yogis and we prioritize our yoga practice, but we also both have 5 cats.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and they're wonderful. So I was thinking, like, of course you're involved in all these like super deep, super big things, but I want to start with like a fun question. Okay, so let's swim at the shallow end of the pool. What are some of the challenges that you face having 5 cats?
Oh my gosh. A ton.
Yeah.
I think, just really finding time to entertain them. So my cats are indoor, outdoor. So unfortunately, I have 4 right now.
So do you, even though you love cats as much, you still like watching cats on the internet too as well? That's so fun.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that is a problem I have.
Okay.
I try to limit myself to a couple of videos a day, Sarah. Calm down.
Oh, nice. That's fun. Okay. Let's start with an article from the Pro Bono Institute from an event in which you spoke in 2016 to help nonprofits overcome their challenges in getting funding. Specifically, you provided information related to the business of fundraising, the different types of fundraising models, relationship building, best practices, and potential pitfalls. And acknowledging how important fundraising is to nonprofits, you were quoted as saying, fundraising gets a bad rap. But
what I always tell people is, first of all, the person that's sitting across from you, they took that meeting with you for a reason. So our CEO says they like you. And you're not asking for you. You're not asking for, would you like to give to Sarah so I can feed my cats? You're asking for the mission. Something that they probably care about as well. That's why they're taking that meeting with you, right? And secondly, it does not have to be a high sales and aggressive ask.
Identify and even select like from a menu of options. I can't do this, but I can do this.
Right, and
it's a really great strategy.
I also shared this too, where getting the meeting is half the battle. And I will share one quick story.
Please.
And I tell this to pretty much everyone getting into the field. Sometimes fundraisers, nonprofit professionals have to get really creative. I remember there's a particular company here in town that I sat in the lobby of this CEO's office because you can't even get in. There's like guards. You can't imagine. They check your purse and all that great stuff. But I sat there in the lobby and, made friends with the guard as well as the receptionist. And the receptionist, I still remember her to this day, Miss Kitty said, Sarah, we're sick and tired of seeing you here, so between this time and this time, Max, we'll say that's his name, Max likes to jog. So if you come here during that time, bring your jogging gear.
Love it.
I do not run. I did that, ran up to him and says, Mr. Max, can I schedule 5 minutes with you? I know you're running right now and I can't keep up with you. But he took the meeting because he said, oh my goodness, you're not going to stop coming, right?
And tell us a little bit more about, what those are and that kind of thing.
Right. So there's a lot of challenges, right? And what I say to everyone is, there is so many problems out there in the world, but this one I chose, one because I am from Laos, born in Laos. It's very near and dear to my heart. And, there's tons and tons of problems that you could be advocating for, but I feel like this is one that we can solve within our lifetime. You know, the stats out there are saying that it could take anywhere between 150 to 200 years to clear all the bombs. So there's about 80 million cluster bombs that are still left there after a war that has been over for over 40 years.
Yeah.
Right. When I first got involved, I did not know what UXO was.
Yeah.
And I'm really sad to say that I didn't know that the bombs were there.
Right.
When my parents, brought us over here, I was 6 years old, and I didn't know why we moved. But, 2 years ago, my father passed away, and we started talking more about just him growing up. I was trying to distract him, and he shared a story about, so it was 1964 when the bombs were first dropped in Laos. My dad was 14 years old on staff.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very dependent on the board members who are all over the U.S., and there's even one who lives in Germany. And she spends a lot of her time in Germany and in Laos. So getting the word out there has been a challenge because we talk about social media, but if you don't have the time or the bandwidth, how do you get those messages out?
Yeah.
And how do you even share with people and allow people like you and I to understand, a lot of the people that I talk to about this, they were not even born yet, right?
Yeah.
So they can't wrap their head around. So it's really getting that education piece out there and telling more people about it and why this issue matters. I think it goes, there's this intersection between why it matters for Laos, but why it also matters to us here as Americans. We were a part of that history.
Yes.
And for Laos to move forward economically, these bombs need to be cleared.
Yeah.